I'm proud of you because I know how hard it's been to wake up every day and keep trying. I know how hard it is to love yourself in spite of the little voice in the back of your mind that tells you you're not enough. I know how hard it's been to try to love yourself in spite of all the mistakes that you've made over the years and the ways that you fell short. I think it's wonderful that you wake up every day and you choose to love other people in spite of the way you've been hurt. You make the world brighter and better every single day you step into it, and you keep looking at all of your shortcomings and thinking that overshadows everything you've done. It doesn't. You keep trying and you keep fighting every single day to be better. Do you know how special that makes you? Do you know how honored people are in the world to have someone like you? Don't stop fighting the good fight. Don't stop trying to find love. I'm proud of you.
Candy?
You already know if I'm going to take it?
Wouldn't be much of an oracle if I didn't.
But if you already know, how can I make a choice?
Because you didn't come here to make the choice. You've already made it. You're here to try to understand why you made it.
Welcome, my friends. My name's Antoine Phoenix to my RP experience. Peace and love to all my brothers and sisters out there. Thank you for hitting the like button, subscribing, sharing, and turning on all notifications so you know when I have a whole new video up. Today's video is going to be about positive and uplifting. Take a momentary break of the P. Diddy scandal and, of course, looking at what the negative of what women do, because there are women that do positive things, but I do often feel that men are taken for granted by other men, other women. Almost everyone eventually takes men for granted until they are not there, because too often I hear that women don't need a man, we are not needed. And for men that are working hard for their families, it would break their heart that their woman or their child is saying they have no value, even though they are trying their best. And a lot of times I often see that in order for a person to kind of understand a person, they have to go through the same thing they went through. Now, I don't always have to do that because I have that ability to put myself into somebody else's shoes. And that's another reason why I have to do this video that Whole Math did about levels of how people think. And I am thankful that I'm on one of the upper levels. Not everybody makes it there. But today, and I can say I'm speaking to everyone if you are going through this particular thing, but particularly men, because I know for me, when I'm having a hard time in life, I'm going through things, pretty much I have to suck it up. Even when I was in relationships, I didn't have too many women that I could lean on and be like, yeah, I just need a breather right now because it's kind of tough. And how many men is going to do that? And how many women will understand if a man opens up like that? That is a courtesy that a lot of women don't understand. That when they open up and say how vulnerable they are, even emotional they are, and of course there are men that will belittle them and put them down. But most of the men, especially the good guys, the guys that are invested into the relationship, they're going to hear them out and they are going to be there for that woman. But often, there's nobody there for the man. In the beginning of the relationship, yes, but not over the course of time. So, this video here is if you ever, especially to the men out there, if you ever felt like a loser, you ever felt like you're not where you're supposed to be in life, whereas you see other people younger than you, same age, women, just everybody might be a step ahead of you. And that's why I often think it's bad to compare yourself to somebody else, unless if you can see the whole thing. And that is the thing that I used to struggle with, because I would always compare myself to somebody else. And I may not have their same skills, their same perks, or what's the word for that? Advantages that they may have, family, uncle. I know a friend of mine that he used to sell drugs. But fortunately, he was Italian, by the way. Fortunately, he had an uncle that was in construction, and his uncle was trying to get him into that job. Now, at first, he couldn't get in because he would not smoking. He was not stop smoking weed, and he needed to stop smoking weed. One day, he finally stopped it. I think some encouragement from me and his aunt, but he finally stopped. Then he got into that position, and now he's in that six figure. Well, he's been like that for years, but I only bring him up because I remember where he was and where he is now, his climb. Of course, though, I do not talk to this guy because he had hit on my wife. Okay, well, my ex-wife now, but my wife at the time. So I have a video by a basketball player that a reporter asked him an interesting question, and his answer was Chef Kiss. Let's listen.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Do you get a promotion every year on your job? No, right? So every year you work is a failure. Yes or no? No. Every year you work towards something, towards a goal, right? Which is to get a promotion, to be able to take care of your family, to be able, I don't know, provide the house for them or take care of your parents. You work towards a goal. It's not a failure. It's steps to success. There's always steps to it. Michael Jordan played 15 years, won 6 championships. The other 9 years was a failure? That's what you're telling me? No, I'm asking you a question. Yes or no? Okay, exactly. So why you asking me that question? It's a wrong question. There's no failure. You know, there's good days, bad days. Some days you are able to be successful, some days you're not. Some days it's your turn, some days it's not your turn. You don't always win. Some other people's gonna win. And this year, somebody else is gonna win. Simple as that. We're gonna come back next year, try to be better, try to build good habits. Hopefully we can win a championship.
Do you view this season as a failure?
Powerful. That was powerful. I'm glad I found that right there, because I have a lot of things going on in my life, and I have some positive things that I'm waiting to develop, in so many words. And sometimes patience is not my strong suit. It is to a certain degree, as long as I see some type of progress. But sometimes something will just stay still, or it will take steps backwards. Of course, I'm talking about investments, but you can apply that to anything in your life. I've always heard you only fail once you give up, once you stop. That's when you totally lost. Now, that is good, chipper words to say, but when you're in the heat of it, the thick of it, you are living it at the time, especially in your life, sometimes it makes you wonder, is it worth it? Should I try something else? It's not always should I just give up on life and check out, but sometimes is what I'm doing right now, is that my path? Is that the right thing? And of course, we know in order to achieve something or to be successful at it, you have to have passion with it, because that right there will get you through the hard times of what you are doing. But see, not all advice applies to every situation in your life. Sometimes you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away, and know when to run. So sometimes you might have to change direction. Sometimes you might have to start something else. To piggyback on what he was saying with the basketball team, the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm not sure if I can pronounce his name. I'm not going to try to pronounce his name. But that basketball player that was speaking, he did win a championship with Milwaukee. But is it his time now to maybe go to another franchise, to go to another team? That might be his path to do. Or it might be to stay right there. And that right there was always the hardest thing for me when making decisions in my life. Should I just stick to this particular thing, or should I go to that right there that looks like that might be more successful to me? Those are the things that you have to try to figure out in your life. I don't always say, because a lot of things I do on my own, but I do think it helps when you have a peer group that you can confide in, get advice with. And while I myself is a jack of all trades, even I need help sometimes. Is a friend right now that told me a particular thing to invest in. If not for him, I would never have known that. Now, I am a person that always seems to come up on certain types of information, and I do read certain things, and sometimes I guess maybe God's nudging me a certain way. I might just happen to see a pop-up of something or keep seeing something reoccurring, but sometimes I might not act on it. And I know sometimes that has frustrated me when I haven't acted on something when I should have. And then I see, if I did it at that time, I would have benefited greatly of what's happening right now. I did this video because 2024 is almost over. We're about to go in 2025. I still feel like it was my calling to do this YouTube channel, to get a lot of stuff off of my chest. And while I am definitely talking about how women can be better and what they are doing wrong, in my personal experience of things to look out for and not to put up with, and another perspective of how to see things, I always think in this game of life, we are always learning, always growing, and we all can change, hopefully for the better. So that's pretty much it. It was something else I was going to say. I cannot think of it right now, but the main message of this video is, if you have ever felt down, you feel like you wasted your life, your decisions have not been good, starting today is a new day that you can make some changes. Small little steps at a time, because pretty much like gaining weight. You gain weight slowly over days, months, years later. And I think in this day and age, a lot of times we want a quick fix. And it's not always a quick fix. It's better to stay steadfast, focused, and just keep your eye on the prize and the goal. And it doesn't have to be money. It could be loved ones. It could be your child. It could be a vacation. Whatever it is that motivates you. But make sure you just have that passion and just never give up. So that's it. Give me a like and subscribe. Have a good day, and I should have a video coming soon.
But you can see me. Get out of here, bub. And you matter, alright? There's always gonna be somebody that cares about you. And you're a good person. No matter what people say, you matter. Ignore them. They're losers. They're ding-dong ditching you. I'm just trying to say something nice. Like, I don't know what they're doing. They're running away and stuff. I'm just trying to say that you matter, man. Or girl. Whoever you are, you matter to someone. Just keep that in mind. Don't forget that.